The purpose of propaganda is to shift the Overton window. And these people are part of the mainstream media. They're the people given the platforms.
The Overton window.
We shifted the Overton window. We made it acceptable for politicians to talk about.
It's a concept that says there's this window of ideas the public is willing to accept. And the theory goes that if you want to change what people think of as acceptable, you shouldn't start here, you should start here, at the extreme. Because forcing people to consider an unthinkable idea, even if they reject it, makes all less radical ideas seem more acceptable by comparison. It shifts the window in that direction. People don't have to accept a ridiculous idea, they just have to get used to it.
When they're on the streets, they try to change people's minds, they try to gain influence through elections.
All of our activists out there pounding the streets, leafleting, canvassing. I want this country to become a shithole. I want this country to descend into a fucking nightmare, because that's the only thing that's going to get people off their backside.
Yeah.
Right now, it's a very febrile moment. We've come off the back of a pandemic, and we've got a cost of living crisis here. People can't afford to heat their homes and feed their children. And when people are angry, and in many cases right to be angry, but they're angry and they're scared, the far right know that that's their moment.
In order to gain their following, they're very often using real concerns that people have and twisting them into their much more extreme narrative.
But they're coming here and posing a threat to our girls.
He started out as a football hooligan and then he ran the English Defence League.
For the first few months, he hid his identity. He always wore balaclavas and no one quite knew who he was.
And it was violent. It was extreme. It was very, very, very anti-Muslim.
You've allowed people into our towns and cities that are r***ing their way through our towns. You're then murdering our kids, left, right and centre. Women are being daily across every city in our country from the that you've brought in.
It's not just a lie, it's whether people believe the lie that matters. People are exposed to these tropes and stereotypes everywhere, whether that's through social media algorithms, through the media, or through mainstream political discussion. It kind of nestles its way into your brain and you might be more primed to believe that it's true.
This country is at a crossroads. I mean, and this is not an exaggeration to say that. And I think we've really got to be clear with people. That's the future for Britain. They want civil war. And if we don't want civil war, then we need to do something about it.
The fact that Britain is getting poorer isn't an economic accident. It's a political decision. When a population becomes poorer and more stressed and more insecure, they're more likely to vote for less balanced parties. Austerity, the government's decisions, begin by restricting resources. As living conditions worsen, people become predictable. People's empathy narrows and people search for simpler explanations. Complex and nuanced ideas are rejected. When they're stressed, people don't ask better questions. They ask shorter ones. And they often believe and choose the parties that tell them the most attractive lies or the simpler explanation. And the media is run by a small group of billionaires, and they shift the blame onto immigrants and minorities. They use the Overton window to make you vote for more conservative parties, essentially just to try and make you right-wing enough. And when the media shows you extreme examples, they are just trying to push the needle slightly to the right.
We shifted the Overton window. We made it acceptable for politicians to talk about.
We're the only people that can stand up on the side of alarm clock Britain. We're on the side of people who get up in the morning, go to work, pay their taxes, obey the law, and nobody else is.